The Beckham family rift deepens as Brooklyn breaks his silence. The long-simmering rift within the Beckham family has escalated dramatically in a matter of days, with insiders now admitting they have little idea how Victoria and David Beckham could begin to mend relations with their eldest son, Brooklyn. What began as months of hushed speculation erupted publicly after Brooklyn, 26, shared a series of explosive Instagram stories. 6 pages that sent shockwaves through Brand Beckham and beyond. For the first time, the eldest child of one of the world's most famous families laid out his version of events, lifting the curtain on what he described as years of emotional strain, public performance, and blurred boundaries between family and brand. Since then, allegations and counterclaims have continued to surface from both sides, with no sign that the storm is abating. Social media was quick to react. Memes and jokes circulated widely at the expense of Victoria Beckham, 51, after Brooklyn alleged she had danced very inappropriately on me in front of everyone. Sources went further, claiming the behavior included grinding and nuzzling her eldest son, an incident Brooklyn says left his wife, actress Nicola Peltz, 31, so distressed that she fled her own wedding reception in tears. Brooklyn also accused his parents of prioritizing image over intimacy, alleging they cared only about appearing picture-perfect in public. Among his most serious claims was that his parents had attempted to bribe him into signing away the rights to his own name, a move he said would have affected not only himself, but also his wife and any future children. In a defiant statement, Brooklyn said he was standing up for myself for the first time in my life, firmly rejecting suggestions that he is being controlled by his wife. I do not want to reconcile with my family. I'm not being controlled, he wrote. For my entire life, my parents have controlled narratives in the press about our family. The performative social media posts, family events and inauthentic relationships have been a fixture of the life I was born into. He went on to accuse his family of valuing public promotion above personal connection. Brand Beckham comes first, Brooklyn wrote. Family love is decided by how much you post on social media, or how quickly you drop everything to show up and pose for a family photo opportunity, even if it's at the expense of our professional obligations. Indeed, Brooklyn was thrust into the spotlight before he could walk. From appearing in wedding photo shoots at just 6 months old to coordinated outfits and carefully staged red carpet moments, he was a central figure in the Beckham brand from infancy. According to a source close to the family, Victoria and David were left reeling after reading their son's statement, and are said to be grappling with quite an element of guilt over the way they publicly shared his childhood. This is a statement that has caused David and Victoria a lot of hurt, but it also shows that Brooklyn is hurting too, the source told the Mail. It's a huge mess. Who knows where this will end? For Brooklyn, however, the rupture appears to have brought a sense of calm. He claims that for the first time in his life he no longer feels anxious, a change he attributes to distancing himself from his family. Communications expert and celebrity PR Maya Riaz suggests that growing up as part of a global brand may have left Brooklyn with a fractured sense of identity. The conversation around monetizing Brooklyn from a young age is complicated, she explains. Children raised in famous families often don't realize where the brand ends and where they begin. That can absolutely affect identity and autonomy later in life. When fame is normalized from birth, Maya adds, it becomes harder for a young person to develop a sense of self that exists separately from public expectation. However, participation does not automatically equal exploitation, especially when it's framed as family rather than commerce. Chartered counseling psychologist Dr. Jane Halsell believes Brooklyn's public outburst represents a broader attempt to reclaim control. Speaking publicly after prolonged privacy is often not impulsive, but a last resort boundary, she says. Estrangement frequently emerges when repeated attempts at private repair fail, particularly where power imbalances, loyalty conflicts, or emotional coercion are present. Public disclosure can be a way of reclaiming agency when private channels no longer feel safe or effective. Central to the dispute is the issue of money and naming rights. Brooklyn alleged that just weeks before his wedding, his parents repeatedly pressured and attempted to bribe me into signing away the rights to my name. They were adamant I sign before my wedding date because then the terms of the deal would be initiated, he claimed. My holdout affected the payday, and they have never treated me the same since. It has been reported that Victoria Beckham currently holds the trademark to her eldest son's name, a trademark due to expire later this year. However, sources close to the Beckham camp have strongly disputed Brooklyn's account. They point to Sir David Beckham's £200 million deal to sell over half of DB Ventures to Authentic Brands Group, explaining that new commercial partners would inevitably hold certain rights over the Beckham surname. The agreement Brooklyn was asked to sign was designed to protect his rights, a source said. David and Victoria have commercial partners who hold some rights over the Beckham name, and this ensured the children were carved out of that. Sources also claimed that Nicola Peltz played a decisive role in Brooklyn's refusal, alleging she convinced him the agreement was not in his best interests. A claim that further underscores how deeply personal and complex the family divide has become.